Okay, what's happening, guys? Back with another video now. This one's going to be a member interview with the big dog himself, Lewis Miller, aka Seven Figure Miller. We'll get on to why we call him Seven Figure Miller within the interview. But anyway, just going to run through quickly his experience working with Capital Closer, his experience in remote high ticket closing, where he came from before, his corporate sales background, biggest challenges, and if anyone's looking to get into the space, I think this will be massively beneficial because what he's able to do in a very short period of time is what takes most people 8 to 12 months. Okay, so I think it's going to be very, very beneficial. So, I think best place to probably start would be, how did you first find out about Capital Closer? I think we've spoken about it a lot of times, the first encounter, but how did you find out about Capital Closer?
Yeah, one of my mates specifically mentioned something, remote high ticket sales, never heard of it before. I googled it,
Yeah.
algorithm caught me, stumbled across one of your videos. I'll never forget, I was watching it in bed. I literally was about 2 minutes into the video, up, didn't really know much about it.
Yeah.
I think I was on a call the next day.
Yeah, so. He was. I remember our call really well. Lewis hit a bit of a milestone recently this month, and I actually went back and looked at our first call that we ever had together. He knew nothing. Like, he came onto the call, knew hardly anything about high ticket closing, how the industry works, so it's quite funny looking back. But obviously, what were you doing before sort of getting to high ticket closing?
Yeah, so I was in recruitment before high ticket closing for 3 years. 4 years prior, I was in marketing as well, so I was a corporate guy through and through.
How did you find it? How did you find the corporate world in the beginning?
Yeah, at the start, it's like, sunshine and rainbows. You're excited about it. You make a wee bit of commission here and there.
Yeah.
It seems like the best thing ever, but quite quickly you hear people talking about making money online, and I just didn't know a vehicle that was going to allow me to do that, which I could find a passion for. So.
And what else did you try though, like online? I remember, what have you tried in the online space apart from remote high ticket closing?
Not really too much. I tried investing in crypto. I tried Forex. I tried them both pretty aggressively, to be fair, for a long time.
What happened?
Yeah, I just fell off it. Just didn't find a real passion for it. It was nothing I could. I don't know what it was, but I didn't find the passion for it. So stumbled across this, and I definitely did straight away.
And then you went from working in marketing within recruitment to then getting into sort of like the sales side of things. How did you find it when you went into the sales side of things with recruitment?
Yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I'm a people person. I'm big on speaking to people. Helping change lives in many different respects. With recruitment, you're changing lives because people don't like their job. They want to go to a new one. So. Yeah.
But you were doing really, really well within your recruitment job. Like, you were making good money compared to like your pals, like people your age. You were doing really, really well. So why were you like, yeah, I'm doing well, but I still want to get out of it?
Yeah, so I actually left recruitment in a position of power, you could say. I was like, I think it was the 4th month back to back, that I was the top consultant.
Yeah.
I had a big bonus on the way. I had to wait for that big bonus, but I knew my time was up. I knew there was more out there. I was aggressively learning remote high ticket closing with yourself, and I decided to just dive straight in. So.
But why? Because so many people, like for example, people maybe watching this are in a 9-to-5 sales job. They're earning 3, 4, 5, 6,000 a month. They're comfortable, earning more than their mates, and they're like, do you know what? Maybe I'm not living the life that I want, but I'm doing all right. Why were you like, I'm not settling for that? I want to make something work.
Yeah, I'm not going to ever settle for doing all right. I spent the best part of 8 years doing all right in the corporate world. Seeing people doing much, much better, people younger than me, so I decided I wasn't going to do that to myself. I decided I was going to have more respect for myself than that. I decided I was going to be more, so yeah.
But then when you made the decision of, look, I'm going to get into a remote high ticket closing, the next step is then, right, I'm committing to doing this thing. There's 2 routes that I can go. I'm going to either invest into a mentor, someone that's been there and done it, or I'm going to go down the route of doing it myself through trial and error. Why did you go down the route of what most people don't do, whether it's the right thing or wrong thing, and you invested into a mentor rather than going down the rabbit hole of doing it yourself?
It's almost a no-brainer. Me doing it myself might take 1, maybe 2 years, but if I can accelerate that to 1, maybe 2 months, and start earning money that benefits not only me but my family and my girlfriend. That's essentially I'm upping my lifestyle straight away in a much quicker time. So that was a kind of no-brainer.
And for business model specifics, why remote high ticket closing? Like, what was it about this opportunity that you were like, yeah, this is for me?
I think I had a lot of transferable skills from recruitment.
Yeah.
I was, as I mentioned, I was a big people person.
Yeah.
I was earning a good bit of money, probably more than most in recruitment. I say most, but more than a lot of people in my company, almost all of them. And yeah, I decided that I was going to take those transferable skills and action it in something that I can ultimately become the best at, or push for excellence. Because again, you're always just trying to better you the week before, you the week before that, and you know, this week I'm better than I was last week. So
yeah, exactly. And I think as well, when you're in a remote high ticket closing, like you are literally paid 100% for your performance. Like when you're in a 9 to 5 sales job, like obviously there's incentives, there's bonuses, but like you can work your ass off. A job can fall through.
Yeah, of
your
course.
boss can say something. Like even you had commission held up. Like you were meant to get paid out commission, and they went, "Oh, Lewis will pay you." And it's like all this corporate bullshit that you've just got to deal with, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, won't get into the weeds about numbers, but it was a good chunk of commission,
exactly.
as you know.
Yeah.
And listen, I gave that up. At that point, I was going to my job early in the morning, coming home late at night, and the best part of 6 hours after that, going to bed at 1, 2 in the morning, most nights, probably every night.
Yeah.
You know that
Yeah.
fine well as well.
Yeah.
I was messaging you at 1 in the morning. So.
Yeah, Jesus, yeah. Which is, again, another trait. Like, I'll say to anyone inside Capital Close, they're like, oh, you know, why is it that you've got guys making 10, 15, 20,000 a month in Capital Close? Like, is there a common trait? Every single time. Relentless, message me 24/7, always asking for feedback, and just obsessed. You know, high ticket closing is almost like a sport, and you need to be like a top sports star to do really well in it. And if you aren't like Michael Jordan at basketball, Ronaldo at football, and all these other like, you know, sports stars, you're just not going to make it. But I think that would be a good thing to share for people. So you were working a recruitment job. Talk us through like the first month and two and the transition. How did you fit in the time? Because obviously you did it on the side to begin with. How did you fit in the training, the coaching, like landing an offer, and what was the time frame with these things? Like 1-2 months.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, I came into Capital Closer, and I think the day that I onboarded was the day that I spent like 7 hours at the laptop, just immersing myself in it. I'll never forget, you know, when I'm speaking to you, I'm very much asking for questions throughout the day, but I'm answering it in the evening. You know, you're up until late in the morning. You know, you're helping all these guys who are in traditional 9 to 5 jobs essentially get the help they need later on in the evening, because you understand that actually have full-time jobs as well. So I was fitting anything I could. You know, my girlfriend will definitely testify to this as well. I saw her a lot less in that time. But ultimately, it's got me to the point where I can do much nicer things. I can, you know, be the man I set out to be. Literally. I'm still not there. I'm still learning every day. I'm still chasing self-mastery, but damn, I'm much better than I was last month. Even that, I'm much better than I was the month before. So. But
I think that's such a big thing there as well. Like, you know, I had that as well. For example, if you've got a girlfriend or you've got parents, it's like there is a sacrifice that needs to be made, because I don't recommend, I wouldn't have said it to Lewis, I wouldn't say it to any of the guys coming on board, oh, quit your 9 to 5 sales job. Like, keep it. You have to keep it. You've worked hard for it. But there is going to be a sacrifice of time with the girlfriend, time with your parents, time with your hobbies, going to the gym in the morning instead of the evening. Like, these things have to be done. So talk us through how long did it take you to land your first offer?
Oh, so I joined in November.
November the 30th, Lewis joined.
Yeah, correct. I think I landed at maybe like, I want to say middle of January maybe. I think it was a month and a bit, maybe 5 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah.
And what industry was that in? Obviously you don't have to say the name of who it was, but what industry was it?
Yeah, it was actually a sales agency at the start. My offer specifically was working with, you know, a really, really well-known YouTuber. And I'm now working in the trading industry, which I'm absolutely loving. So
talk us through like sort of earnings first. Obviously you joined November the 30th. Talk us through earnings January, Feb, March, and we're obviously in April now. And obviously if you can give a rundown of like why, because there's quite a big gap as he'll get onto. Explain what like happened as to why there was such a jump.
The trajectory is like this, to be honest. So which is what you want, you know. I think my first month, January, was around about £800
on the side of your 9 to 5.
Dollars, sorry, in the 9 to 5, yep. And then over and above that, we got to February, which is $4,000. Last month was 7.5, and I'm now sitting at 17, pushing for 20. So bear in mind, you know, I was in a recruitment job where I was making, you know, no more than a few grand. Plus, if you're making a good month, you're making, you know, 5, 6 in commission, potentially 7 in a miracle month. So it's very, very different.
So you've obviously got. When did you decide to leave your 9 to 5? Because I think that's a big thing for a lot of people. Like, you were making good money on the side of your 9 to 5. I think you were making, as you said there, you were making like 5 to 6K on the side, and your recruitment salary too. So when did you decide I'm going to go all in?
Yeah, we had many a conversation about it, didn't we? And I kept saying, listen, I don't know when there's never going to be a right time. You think, you know, it's now the right time. Oh, I'm just going to hold out and get more commission from my current job. I would say do it as soon as possible. You know, I kind of wish I'd done it a month before, because I know that I'd already surpassed the 20K at that mark. You know, with the training, with the guidance, with the coaching, currently standing in Marbella, and every single day we've been working. But over and above that, we're learning every day, we're training every day, all waking up and doing it from the get go. So yeah, I was batting it around for a while, then decided to go all in, and it was probably the best decision I've ever made. And I think for you, what's been the biggest reason why you feel? Because I mean, Lewis is
hit basically $17,000 this month in commissions. Bearing in mind he joined November the 30th. So he's done that, well, you hit 10k, his first 10k this month as well, then hit 15k this month, and now it's obviously hitting 17. What was the biggest reason why you feel you've hit those numbers in that time frame? Because it's not common, to be honest with you. It's not that common in that time frame. Why do you think?
I would say the main reason is just relentlessness, waking up, getting it done. I've had some really tough days. I've spoke to Jerry sometimes, I've spoke to yourself, Mal, Yain, yourself as well, and there's been many times where I've thought, you know what, this just isn't working for me. You'll have those days, it's just pushing through it and knowing that there's success around the corner. It's constantly just trying to become better and putting every single hour you possibly can into it, whilst having a life as well, whilst going to the gym, whilst seeing your 100%. Girlfriend, whilst seeing family, because again, that's what's most important.
So, big question, what's on the horizon now? April, going to hit 17k this month. Actually, he's going to finish top of the leaderboard, capital closer as well, which he's probably more happy about. Take the gold medal.
I'll take that.
But what is on the horizon over the next 3 months for you? Like, obviously, personally, lifestyle, all the rest of it, relationships.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. So I'm now fully remote. I'm going to be taking my girlfriend away a few times this year. I'm going to aim to take my family away for the first time ever, which is a big milestone for me. You know, don't worry, mum and dad, I'm going to get this. That's something I can't wait to say. But over and above that, I'm pushing for surpassing 20, and then 30, and then 40, and then 50s on the cards. People would say you sound cocky saying that, but why not? Why not push for the top? So that's where I'm heading.
And when you see your trajectory as well, like it's the good thing as well, like me and Lewis work quite closely together as well, because Lewis actually works for one of the sales teams that I run as well, so it's really good because we can work together a lot closely. And from my side of things as well, like I can see the trajectory that like there's still a few things that we can dial in terms of the sales process, in terms of his close rate and everything, and you can just see it's going to absolutely skyrocket. So no doubt he's going to be at 25, 30, 40k a month by the end of this year, guaranteed, and we'll do another interview when that happens as well. But yeah, guys, that's been our interview with Lewis anyway. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.